everyone, it's Stephanie Cantu, and this is Writing with Your Realtor. And today I'm joined with
GiGi Nunez with GiGi Insurance.
Yes, Miss GiGi, thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
I'm so excited that you're here with us today, riding around in the car. We're going to ask you a couple of questions and hope you can help us with home insurance.
Of course.
All right, Miss GiGi. First question, what does homeowners insurance cover?
Great question, Stephanie, because now that we're looking at these homes, a lot of people do not know what your home insurance does cover, but basically your home insurance is protection from any loss that's covered on your policy. Most commons are going to be your fire, theft, and vandalism. There's additional coverages depending on the companies and the carriers, and that's why we're a broker, because we can direct you on those what we call special coverages that are included. But for most common, it's going to cover your fire, theft, and vandalism, and then there's what we call other perils with additional coverages. But if y'all have any questions on that, just feel free to reach out. Send us a text message. We can go over the more specific details. But
Okay.
in the nutshell, it's to protect you from fire, theft, and vandalism on your home.
Great.
Yes.
Okay, good. When purchasing home insurance, what are some of those common mistakes that homeowners make?
The common mistake that people do, and we use this word as a nasty word, is trying to go with, we call it a nasty word, cheapest coverage. That's a big mistake. Don't go just by the price dollar of it. Know what you're getting. Know what coverages you do have, because at the end of the day, especially with we had a couple of fires out in the Ingleside area, a lot of these people did not know what they had, and they called our office. They were referred to us, and when we start looking at their policies, there's coverages that were omitted from their policies. So the biggest common mistake is going with your cheapest coverage and not knowing what type of coverage you truly do have.
Another question, because you mentioned claim, how would somebody know when it would be appropriate to file a claim, or when does it help you to file a claim on your insurance?
Well, we just talked about it. Obviously, if you've had a total loss, like the fires that we had over in the Ingleside area, it took down the whole neighborhood. Obviously, you're going to file a claim, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how do you know when is the appropriate time when you haven't had a total loss? Typically, rule of thumb is if your damages exceed your deductible. So you always need to be aware of what your deductible is. And a quick example is, if I have a loss and it's $1,000 and my deductible is $5,000, then there's no need for you to file your claim. So typically, if it exceeds your deductible, then go ahead and file a claim. And then always review with your agent too. See if there's clauses in your policy that you might have a $500 deductible or a 1%. So always review with your agent before calling right away to file that claim, because it will affect you at the end of the day.
Okay. And so you mentioned that it'll affect you. How does that affect you?
So when you come up for renewal, or if you're looking for other carriers, they will see a loss history, and some of these loss histories will affect your premium at the time of renewal.
Oh.
Kind of like your auto insurance.
Okay. That makes
Yes,
sense. That makes
for
sense.
For sure.
Okay, well, one more question, and you can tell us, because this is a common one us realtors see all the time,
Okay.
is home insurance versus home warranty. So tell me a little bit about that. What's the difference between that? I'm sure you get calls like that all the time.
We do, and I like to keep it very simple where people can understand it. We're going to cover for perils that are on your home insurance, the ones that I mentioned, fire, theft, vandalism. A lot of the times on the warranty, we get calls like on the AC, my AC broke down, can I make a claim? Well, it's not. Breakdowns are not covered on your home insurance. That's going to be, if you do have a home warranty, that's where the warranty comes in. It's to fix your AC unit, your stove. That's the difference between warranty and home insurance. Another way that I like to explain is kind of like on your auto insurance policy. If your tires are wearing out, or you can't just call your auto company and say, hey, my tires are needing to be replaced, can you replace my tires? No, that's not what the insurance is there for. So I like to kind of assemble that with your warranty. Warranty is for replacing either your units or your AC units, electrical, things like that. That's not a covered peril on your home insurance policy. But yes, we do get those questions a lot.
Okay, good. A lot, I'm sure, yes. So again, just reach out so that they can help you answer these questions. And Miss Gigi, if you can tell us, how do they reach you and your company?
Yes, so they could reach us at 361-288-8181. You can either reach out to me, or we have several agents at the office who are licensed, who can be able to answer all the questions when it comes to any of your home insurance needs.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Well,
Yes.
thank you for that great description of all that home insurance has to cover and all of that.
Fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So thank you all for joining us, and thank you, Miss GJ, for joining us today.
Of course.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye. I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow. It's the